Hey guys, a warm welcome to the channel. Today I'm super excited to share my honest review of the Deer Fence Netting, 7x 100 feet anti-bird deer protection net, a reusable, protective garden net for your plants, fruit trees, and vegetables. I've spent a full growing season using this netting in my backyard garden, so I'm here to break down everything you need to know from setup and performance to durability and real-world value. Let me start by saying how impressed I was with the coverage. The package comes with 700 square feet of netting, which is enough to shield small raised beds, a handful of fruit trees, or a row garden. I used it to protect my raspberry bushes, blueberry plants, and a couple of young fruit trees. With some basic stakes, I draped the netting over the entire area, securing it close to the ground. In a few minutes, I transformed an open garden into a bird and deer-resistant sanctuary. One of the first things I noticed is how lightweight but strong this netting is. It's made from durable polyethylene that feels tough enough to hold up over the season without tearing, but still light, so it doesn't crush plants underneath. You can step on or lean on it gently, and it holds firm. I had to stretch it a bit to get snug edges around the bed, and it didn't rip or overstretch. That flexibility was super helpful. Let's talk animals. My garden is a hotspot. Birds swoop in early morning, and deer love the tender leaves of my young blueberry shrubs. Once the net was down, both gave up their everyday visits. I saw birds try to pick at the berries but couldn't get past the mesh, and the deer tipped over a stake once but couldn't reach the foliage. That peace of mind alone makes it worth it. You get to garden confidently without waking up to missing fruit or damaged plants. So set up easy and tool-free. I placed simple bamboo stakes on each side of my garden beds and walked the netting over them. Then I secured the edges using landscape pins and medium-sized stones. No cutting or tying required. The mesh was wide enough to cover tall strawberry clusters without pinching them. For my fruit trees, I dropped the net over the canopy and weighted the edges with rocks. Even in mid-season, I could lift it slightly to inspect fruit, prune branches, or collect ripe berries easily. One clever detail is the mesh size. The holes are small enough to keep out almost every bird species, including sparrows and smaller songbirds, but they're still big enough for sunlight, air, and rain to reach the plants. That means your garden environment isn't compromised. It stays well lit, ventilated, and moist underneath, which keeps plants healthy. I got full sun and rain exposure the entire time, and none of my plants looked like they suffered from being covered. Reusability is a big plus. After the growing season ended, I removed the netting, shook off dirt, and stored it in a zip-up bag. A light rinse later, and it's folded up and ready for next year. No glue, no fraying, no mildew even after being stored in my garden shed. This is the kind of investment that pays for itself in a couple of seasons. Now, about durability. I've had it out through heavy rains and wind, and it stayed intact. The material flexes without tearing, and the UV treatment on the mesh prevents it from breaking down in the sun. After 6 months outside, it looks almost new, just a little dusty around the edges. If I had to mention a few things to think about, first, it's best suited to garden beds and small trees. If you're trying to fence a large field or protect multiple orchard trees, you may need helper structures like PVC pipe hoops or wooden frames to hold the net higher and cover wider areas. Second, while it keeps deer away, it doesn't stand up to high pressure climbing, so if you have aggressive wildlife, it may not be enough by itself. But in suburban areas like mine, it handled everything perfectly. Cleanup and storage are a breeze. I just roll it like a rug and tuck it into the storage bag. It's thin and compact when rolled, so it doesn't take much space in my shed. I also appreciate that it's easy to clean, a quick spray hose down and it's good to go. On value, I think this netting is a great investment. You're getting a large coverage area, tough material, and seasons-long protection, all for a very modest price. Compare that to replacing broken plants or netting smaller sections, and it really adds up in your favor. In summary, the Deer Fence Netting, 7x 100 feet, delivers exactly what it promises. It's easy to install, reliable against birds and deer, lets your plants breathe and grow, and lasts through multiple seasons. I've felt zero stress wandering into my garden. Now it's protected, thriving, and still peaceful. Whether it's berry bushes, veggie plots, or fruit trees, this does the job beautifully. Ready to protect your garden without a hassle? Click the link below for the best price, and get peace of mind for your plants this season. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.